dear students. Today we are talking about Augustan period women writers. First one is Lady Mary Waterley Montagu. She lived from period of 1689 to 1762. Lady Mary was a poet and letter writer married to Edward Montagu. Both this husband and wife were associated to Augustan period writers like Addison and Pope. Alexander Pope's relation to this lady was somewhat it was not good, and this was mentioned in his later writings also. Important works of this Mary Waterley Montagu are court poems, town eclogues and letters. Next one is AnnFinch, lived from 1661 to 1720. AnnFinch was well-educated noblewoman who wrote many love poems to her husband. The most famous work of AnnFinch is A Letter to Daphnis. Most of her works talks about social justice for women, and her works are mostly related to her depression also. AnnFinch used pindaric odes effectively, and this writer is a very brilliant one. That's why AnnFinch was praised by Virginia Woolf in her A Room of One Song. So AnnFinch lived during the period from 1661 to 1720. Next one is SaraFeilding. She lived from 1710 to 1768. Sarah Field was younger sister of Henry Fielding and friend to Samuel Richardson. And most important work of SaraFeilding is The Adventures of David Simple, which is published anonymously. The Governess or the Little Female Academy is another important work published in 1749. Next work is David Simple, Volume the Last, published in 1753. So SaraFeilding is related to or friend to Samuel Richardson, and she is a younger sister of Henry Fielding. Next important writer of this Augustan period is CharlettLenox, lived from 1730 to 1804. CharlettLenox is a writer of female quixote, published in 1752. Her poems are called Poems on Several Occasions, published in 1747. And DrJohnson considered Charlotte as superior to other women writers of that period. But unfortunately, most of the women writers cannot understand the brilliance of they couldn't understand the brilliance of CharlettLenox, but Dr. Johnson praised her for her her writing excellence. The Life of Harriet Stewart, written by herself, is the first novel by CharlettLenox, published in 1751. Second and most famous novel is, or her magnum opus is, The Female Quixote. The subtitle is The Adventures of Arabella. It was published in 1752. This work was published anonymously. In this novel, the heroine Arabella believes that love is the ruling principle of the world. She is a beautiful and intelligent woman who lived in seclusion, and later she fled to France to achieve her love life. So this is a famous story of the female quixote. And the most successful poem of Charlotte is The Art of Coquetry. Henrietta is another novel published in 1758. In 1753, Lennox wrote Shakespeare Illustrated. Lennox preferred original works than the adaptations. Because of that reason, Charlotte was sometimes critical of Shakespeare. From 1760 to 1761, she wrote for the periodical The Ladies' Museum. So she wrote for the periodical The Ladies' Museum, and it's important from UGC NET exam. Next one is the most important woman writer of Augustan period, that is FrancesBurmey, lived from 1752 to 1840. FrancesBurmey is a self-educated novelist and playwright who influenced Jane Austen greatly. So they may ask in the NET exam the writer who influenced Jane Austen. So the answer is FrancesBurmey. First and most striking work of FrancesBurmey is Evelina, published in 1778, and the subtitle of this work is The History of a Young Lady's Entry into the World. This was also asked in the NET exams. This work is even praised by Edmund Burke and Dr. Johnson also. It's an epistolary novel of manners, and this Evelina is published anonymously without even the knowledge of her family. Burney's most important play is Edwy and Elgiva. So she entered into playwriting also, and her important play is Edwy and Elgiva. Burney is noted for comedy of domestic life. Dr. Johnson called her little character monger. So this lady was called by Dr. Johnson as little character monger. Other novels of FrancesBurmey are Cecilia or Memoirs of an Heiress, published in 1782, Camilla, A Picture of the Youth, published in 1796, and the last one is The Wanderer, published in 1814. Thank you.